Hi everyone. Here is a game I just played against Anna Cramling the bot. And I really wish I could play with Anna Cramling in real life, and maybe one day that will happen. Um, I'm quite of a big fan of her. She's an amazing person, as far as I see. But the bot, we got the chance to play against the bot. And I played it actually, I filmed myself playing it, but it took like an hour to play the game, and I have I'm too self-conscious to just upload an hour video on YouTube. That's ridiculous. So I'm just gonna analyze, just going through, try to make it very short, shorter than 8 minutes. That's my goal, to not upload videos longer than 8 minutes. So let's go. And we got a very big treat in the game. A beautiful, beautiful tactic. Sicilian. G6, I don't know. I don't know much theory. I just know from playing so much. I know moves. G6 is very rare. But I just took the knight. And Anna took with the d pawn. And I just took the queen. Kind of weird moves from the bot, like they usually do. And here, I felt like e5 is an important move because it gives me the opportunity to not allow the knight into the game. And whenever they play f6, then I can even just play f4, or maybe I can just clamp down. And it becomes tricky. Here, f4, not allowing the trade, and obviously not trading. And now, like, all her pieces are sort of clamped down. And my position is amazing. Although the computer says it's still equal, I don't understand, because this move computer says is giving me a huge advantage. Like, I don't really understand this, and I'm not going to analyze it on now on video. But anyway, I just go to b3. Here, I calculated if I should push e6, but I felt like pushing. I think computer prefers e6, yeah, but I felt like e6 is like my pawn is going to be hard to defend. Like, rook comes here, I really need to go here, and then c5, c4, and how am I defending that pawn? I didn't like it. But I didn't mind if takes. Of course, you don't want to take, knight takes. But takes is fine. Takes the bishop, I take with the rook. I'm still kind of very good position. So I played a4. Actually, no. Yeah, the computer's second line was a4. Earlier was the first line. Anyway, a4. The idea is you want to bring the rook, you want to open the rook, and like this position is so magnificent for white, even though the material is equal. And I knew while I was playing that I'm completely winning. And yeah, so take here, and of course you can take on b5. The computer prefers taking on b5, but I take on e5 first. Here I defend, attack, rook e1, takes knight d2, and here's the move before knight d2. In this position, I felt like all of Anna's moves are sort of so awkward. What she does, maybe knight h6 or maybe bishop h6, you know. But the other move that makes sense is c5, playing for c4, and I really didn't want that. And I really want to play bishop e3, bishop c5, bishop e3 preventing c5, and then bishop c5 myself. And that position it's undescribable how good that position is. This is what I felt whilst playing. But you don't want to lose this important pawn, e5, even though you might claim that open lines in front of a king that can't castle is very good. But still, if that pawn is gone, this knight can come into the game. It's not that simple. You don't want to lose that knight. So here's what I calculated. Bishop e4, sorry, bishop e3, bishop takes e5, bishop b6, rook b8, bishop a7, rook a8. And now it seems like you can take the bishop, which means that the pawn is off limits earlier. But it seems like it's not true, because bishop takes on b1, rook takes on b1, rook takes on a7. So it seems like after all, you are losing a pawn here. And I wasn't ready to do that. My intuition was still saying no, but I wasn't ready to do that. And here comes the magic. This is false. This calculation is false, and it's so magnificent. And I'm gonna play you the line as the analysis. Bishop e3, bishop e5, bishop e6, rook b8, bishop a7, rook a8, rook takes e5, like we said earlier. Bishop takes b1, rook e1. Bishop needs to run away because the bishop can be taken with this rook. Bishop run away. Bishop d4. And now I feel like a Levi Roseman. And this is this I didn't see. What's the point? You're attacking both rooks. Okay, but takes. And how do you defend this rook? You can't. f6 is the only move for now. Rook a8 wins it because the king can't defend the rook. And you're winning. That's why the computer's first line, actually, knight d2, which I played, is bishop e3. Bishop e3. Look at this. Bishop e3. And you're not losing this pawn. This pawn is off limits. I did not see that whole sequence. That's unbelievable. Effing believable. So I played this. And yeah, here you can definitely go bishop e3 because this is off limits, of course, because you just take the knight. But I thought if I go just bishop e3, the knight comes in here attacking the pawn again, and I didn't want that, so I played h3 because knight on f5 is is compared to g4 is not very effective. I did this anyway. Go in, and now I get to play bishop c5 anyway. And this kind of I missed this tactic, although it's losing for black. But if you don't take anyway, after all calculations, this rook gets becoming opened, and if you defend, they have knight here, and you sort of lose because takes and this hang anyway. So I played the computer's best line, the takes, and just check, and this rook comes in. Of course, you can't take because you're going to lose the rook because you need to be able to defend takes and check wins the rook if the bishop moves. So takes check here, and now it's winning if I play g4 because wherever the knight goes, you're going to win because your king is open. Anyway, this is complicated. I just figured, you know what? I felt like I fumbled the position because it seems like it's sort of equal. Just to take the pawn there, but it's already not such a big advantage. Still winning. Trade with bishops, and then endgame. Instead of taking here, I just prevented the king of coming in. Anyway, I'm not very good endgame player, but it seems like it's not. The advantage is almost gone. Yeah, so this and this, and then king f2, just to prevent the rook from becoming a pig to take all my pawns. And yeah, I sort of won the game because Anna's bot didn't really play the endgame very well. And I was also had the big advantage before, plus upper pawn. Anyway, what a game, and yeah, amazing tactic. So many layers to it.